Welcome, one and all, to another Ancilla table session here on Philly by Night. It's it's been a minute, gang. We had the month of September off, but we are back and at it again. We have a light table for you this afternoon. When last we left our heroes, we were heroes. We were dealing with all manner of issues in the city, but the Ancilla that are not currently on various special assignments have gathered once again at Powell House in the heart of Philadelphia as the sun has set behind the Philadelphia skyline. But before we get to our coterie session, we have some things to deal with. So we are going to start in chat order with our mad Irishman himself, Mr. Finnegan Omadra.
Morning.
Mr. Omadra, as you rouse from your day sleep and you prepare for your evening, the beast rises sharply at the back of your throat. Sitting in a chair across from you is a very familiar form. His crisp suit, slicked hair, and perfect features is your old nemesis, the man who insisted that you end his suffering and only compounded on yours. Well, boyo, looks like another fine mess you've gotten us into.
I just need some foods. Just need to eat. That's it.
Oh, sure. Feeding would solve that gnawing pit in your stomach. But it would really solve your problems.
Getting rid of you would solve my fucking problems. Just need to figure out how.
Or you could just greet the sun and your suffering.
Yeah, you like that. Can't do that though.
No, too many lives left to destroy.
Too many lives left to hang on to. My son, so to speak. My
Yes.
son.
Hold on to him with both hands, lad. And with that, the apparition evaporates into nothing more than motes of dust that float through your haven.
Just goes over to the fucking stove, mixes up like a pumpkin puree, bakes some treats, gives some to Tane, tries to go hunting.
So go ahead and give us your hunting roll in your chat.
I believe that is dexterity and drive. And this is with my hunger, yes?
Correct.
Wonderful. Hey!
Well, congratulations. You met the difficulty. You are able to slake your hunger back down to hunger 1. And
just telling myself over and over again, just fuck you, just saying, cursing, and just he starts like singing as he's hunting through the alleyways.
Yeah. You are able to slake your hunger and start making your way to Powell House to meet up with the rest of your coterie. Now, we are going to move on to Mr. Luke Mallory. Luke, my buddy guy, I'm
Boobala.
going to hold your hand when I say this. You are not doing well either. You
No, no, we are not.
you are you are at hunger 3, and
Yes.
that means you also have a visitor in your haven.
Yeah.
Though it's strange. You can hear his voice clearly, but his face seems to be a swirl of smoke, as though you know who this person is, but their face just is not coming to you. They are dressed in traditional Bedouin garb, and they stand perched at the end of your bed. Nothing more than a broken blade. Such a disappointment.
This is a voice and a comment and a through line of thought that Luke listens to enough that it has become background noise and somewhat motivation to everything he does. So at first, he's not going to respond to this figure, this specter of his past. Um, but it's not an easy thing.
You would have served the clan better, but you simply laid down and died.
We both know that that's not true.
Time will tell. And with that, he shimmers and evaporates into a wisp of desert sand and black smoke.
For all the ghosts that haunt us, he is right. I will not do anyone any good the way I am now. So um, we must see about setting ourselves to right.
So, how is it that Luke would like to feed this evening?
Um, his normal way of feeding is what he's still going to try and do because it really is better than his other choices, which is trying to find not people to eat. And everyone seems to take exceptions when that happens. So he's going to go into the store and find something. Um, kind of eaten a lot of the memories out of the more large scale items we have, but there's definitely stuff still there.
Okay. Let me take a peeky peek here. Um, you know what? Go ahead and roll me 7 dice and include your hunger.
Cool. Box of Doom, where are you? There it is.
Okay. You have managed to find a trinket in your collection that the memories are potent but mundane. They are enough to satisfy you and reduce your hunger back down to 1.
I think there's a long moment where he looks at the ring that sits on his finger that is that broken Banu ring that is full of memories that he has never fed from, because those are his, and he is not going to. It's somewhat of an emergency stash, but it also is not something he wants to give up. So there's a moment of staring at it before he moves on to other things.
But as you slake your hunger, you would remember that's right. Tonight we are meeting once again at Powell House, and hopefully that skin crawling ghoul is not present.
Hopefully not.
And as Luke Mallory makes his way out into the nighttime Philadelphia cityscape, the camera pans to Lenka. Miss Blisk, as you rouse from your day sleep, hunger claws at the back of your throat. The beast rages within, and sitting beside you in bed is your sire, Cristal. She says nothing at first, simply glares at you.
Mm-hmm. So Lenka will just turn around and look up at her. Just glare back, slowly sit up.
You are, without a doubt, the greatest regret of my unlife.
Kind of seems like a you problem, she says with a stretch.
Sooner or later, child, you are going to disappoint them all over again.
Maybe.
How long before even your pet Tremere grows tired of your antics and leaves?
I don't think she would.
We'll see. And as she rises from the bed and walks towards the door, she dissolves into a wisp of black smoke and body glitter.
Yes.
But you is hungry.
Yeah.
So, how would you like to go about solving that?
She is going to put on her most inconspicuous, anonymous clothing. Just jeans, t-shirt, jacket, and like a hood. And she's gonna find some poor person in an alley. Maybe lure them into like a false sense of security. Pounce
Okay.
on them, make sure everything's clear. Pounce on them, make them forget, walk away. The usual.
All right. So go ahead and give me your hunting roll. And that should be a 9 dice pool. Don't forget to include your hunger. Which I actually think you have the largest hunting pool in the coterie. Yes, you do. By one. Yep. So, hey, good news. You were able to successfully hunt. And you were also able to successfully wipe their memory of the incident. We have had 3 successful hunts tonight. So we should all feel very
Yay.
proud of ourselves.
Very proud.
We managed to not make a mess.
Three,
It's kind of
four,
hard
three.
for
3, 4, 3.
it's kind of hard for Luke to make a mess, but it
I
is.
mean, it's hard, but I did a good job of doing it the other time.
You sure did. You sure did. And we love him for that. But you would notice as you were leaving the Haven that Cyrene was not present. Likely she had spent the day over at the Chantry.
I mean, Serene is rarely present. Usually up and going much earlier. Doesn't really concern Lenka much right now.
This is true. This is true. But now is the time to make your way to Powell House, because you have a meeting with your coterie. And as the camera pans away from Lenka, it settles in on the interior of the historic Powell House. There is a light night. Mr. Carey is puttering about, polishing the pewter, sweeping the floors, generally trying to stay out of everyone's way. He gets the feeling that there are at least some members of the coterie that don't much care for him. He is a sweet man, but he is still perceptive. As the three of you enter Powell House within a relatively short amount of time between each of you, you would see sitting at the large table in what used to be the dining room are two familiar figures, Seifra She and Rowan Everly. And they are just sitting at the table, politely chittering to each other. Occasionally, you will see a slight blush creep across Rowan's face before he tries to steel himself once again. And with that, I will turn the scene over to my four individuals.
Yeah. And we'll just kind of reach into his side pocket and pull out a little satchel in like orange cloth and give it to Seifra. And he's saying, a little bit early, but midsummer is coming up, so.
Ooh.
Made little pumpkin treats.
And Seifra's going to do what Seifra does when presented with food, as she is one of the rare few who can eat it.
And also kind of kneels down and gives. Never mind. I'm assuming things. And just kind of looks to Rowan and gives him a nod. Appreciate the work that you've been doing with that pig device. Good on yous.
Rowan gives a polite smile and nod. It's not much, Mr. Omadra, but we all try to pull our weight in some way.
Okay.
And he and Seifra kind of snack on some of the pumpkin treats. Because yes, Rowan is actively eating food.
I'll make more for next time. He just makes a mental note.
I think not long after, the door kind of opens with a little bit of a bang. And Lenka walks in. Whoops! And closes it very carefully. Sorry. Anyone home?
Doorbell.
Oh, hi. Oh, hi. Hi, Finn. Hi, Zebra. Hi, Rowan. Lenka seems in an oddly cheery mood today.
Hey, she's rather vocal tonight. She said more than 2 words to me, and they weren't violent.
Do you want violence?
No, I'm not.
I can do violence.
Well, you just seem so. Don't worry about it.
I've just had a bad
a
few nights. A cookie?
I don't know.
Am I a dog?
Just pets tag. Just turns and
Pork,
pets
pork,
tag.
pork.
Rude.
He didn't say nothing.
No, you didn't. Saw
Honestly,
the look in your
a
face.
dog might be a high compliment from you.
Holy
Exactly.
shit! Where do you
That's why
come from?
he's just like I don't know how to handle this situation. I'm just gonna pet my dog.
Where's the others?
I don't know.
Anyone seen Cyrene lately?
She called. She's stuck in traffic with a full mouth.
Really?
Oh, that happens. Okay. You gotta be careful. You gotta make sure you're driving safe. Out of last.
And last I heard, Zero has been cloistered in the Chantry Library.
Well, I'm sure
Not
they're
surprising.
at least somewhat happy about that.
Kind of leans over to Seafra, and just says, "It's just like, is that a punishment or a good thing for the nerds?"
I think he likes the books.
Okay. It seems we can go over what we've got going on at the very least. I have a couple of updates on my end.
Good. Let me start. I have none. Okay, your turn.
Great. Superb. He kind of pulls out this like rough yellow little flip notebook kind of thing, like legal pad, but it's only like this big, and he kind of opens it up, and it's just chicken scratch and scrawled, and like he's competing with Alicia. Honestly, it's not necessarily the scrawlings of a madman, but it's the literal scrawlings. But he's trying his best. He is being taught by a dog. He just kind of tries to find what we were supposed to do for yours. Later on, we need to figure out some more streetwise criminal stuff to see if the Black Spirals have been futzing around in the underbellies of the city. I don't have too many connections on that side of town. I did get something within the animal control. I still need to set up a couple of meetings, but I got me foot in the door.
That's good.
It is about that time that the door to Powell House flies open. And Zero, describe for us how our resident whirling dervish Tremere enters the scene.
He looks all out of sorts. He very clear. His shirt's not even tucked in. Papers flying all around, glasses hanging off one of his ear, and he just rushes it. Sorry, I got caught up in studying and research. Apologies. Go on.
And just kind of looks up. It's just like, it's fine. You look great. Take a seat.
Oh, thank you. And he quickly just tucks in his thing and then goes to sit down, just embarrassed.
No, we were just going over a couple of things. Lenka's update was kind of flips over his notebook and just nothing. But we're going to be figuring out the underbellies with the Garusi, and if they're influencing any of these dangerous violence that's happening. I know most.
Yeah, I can talk to Mama about it, maybe.
Yes. Who's Mama?
Oh, she's a lovely lady. I think you'd like her. She has a lot of her boys running around the city, doing all sorts of nasty shit for her, and with her, and to her, and her to them. You know.
Right.
This sounds like a speakeasy type of ordeal. Is that what's going
No.
on? No.
Yeah, no. Yeah. No.
Yeah, you might want to talk with them.
Gang
They seem
mom?
to be- they
I
seem-
think she's gang mom.
I find your answers vague and concerning.
I am
Increasingly
also
so.
concerned.
Increasingly so. But that's why you have those connections and I do not, because I find that concerning and you have a smile on your face. So
Listen, we should all go visit her right fucking now and have this meeting in her fucking office.
Know about that.
Amazing. You will love her. I swear you will love her.
You're like
And she will love you. You're a good looking
She
guy.
sounds
damn
scary.
percussionist hair. Like, god fucking damn.
She will tie you
Oh.
up
Right.
for fun.
Mama would devour Zero.
I don't want it.
That's why we need to go.
No, we don't.
In the fun ooh way, right? The fun ooh way, right? Right?
Right?
Sure.
In the fun way, right?
Sure. Yeah,
Kind of
sure.
looks over to Sifra and just like, ooh woo. You'll have to explain that one to me later. But so with Zero here, we got well also with Rowan's, sorry. We do have some kind of access to some major deterrents to this Garouche, the threat, with the Black Spiral Lancers. With Lady Alicia's help, we've made a couple of adjustments to it to make it less effective against us and more effective against them, so to speak. We also have a couple of side deterrents, just in cases. But the primary goal is going to be peace talks with this other pack that we have. Yes.
What does the deterrent do?
Well,
I just want to know in case I step into it.
Kind of looks to
or
Rowan.
so I don't do.
You wouldn't be anywhere near it. No,
You wouldn't know.
well,
Rowan.
I would hope to Kane that you're nowhere near it.
yeah, same.
It just looks
Rowan reaches into his satchel and pulls out what appears to be a baseball-sized device and sets it on the table. Don't worry, this one. He looks directly at Zero. This one's inert. It's
Okay.
just for demonstration purposes. There is a large raised silver button that sits at the center of this ball, and he presses the button. 4 petals drop, and you see this puff come out of the device. Now, this one's just water, but the actual device uses a combination of microscopic silver and colloidal silver. It should be enough to really incapacitate a Garu. And the only downside is that if there's somebody among our number that has particular allergies, it will also be incredibly effective against them.
So
That
we just
sounds
need to
so
make
cool.
sure that
We're
it's
glitter
far
bombing.
away.
Yeah.
Yes, if the glitter was effectively made out of acid and fire.
So it looks directly to Zero, just like we stay away.
Oh, I have every intention on not being in the same stratosphere.
I just
You
want
two-
to.
Are you two allergic to that shit?
I'm
No,
allergic.
You're allergic.
just making sure.
Don't touch my stuff then. Warning.
I had no intention of it.
I didn't think you did. I just like silver things.
Okay.
It is very easy to see that all of the jewelry and weapons that Lenka carries are silvered.
Is this like real silver or is it just okay?
Oh yeah, do you want to touch it? Here.
No, I'm good. Hey, please get it away. It's gonna hurt.
That will come very
Alright.
much in handy. against this. These
What I'm
black
saying, I've been
threats.
saying it all along. I can like punch its silver in the face,
Well, that's
Well-
really great, but you don't really want to.
even from
punch it.
afar, ish.
You can punch from afar?
Ish.
This sounds like an oxymoron. How do you punch from afar?
I don't want to show you right now.
I
But
don't
I
want you
have-
to
I
show me.
have-
I want you to explain it.
I can do the shadowy thing.
About how
and just
far?
do like a
About how
pretty,
far?
pretty far.
About
Like from
how
here
far?
to there, from here
About-
to there, and then
about-
through that room.
Okay, well, that's not giving distance. Like 5 feet?
About how far?
6 feet?
Listen. The European here doesn't know feet, so
Hey, say
help me.
meters.
3 meters? 6 meters?
You know, that is a good question. How far does Arms of Ahriman reach?
I don't know.
It doesn't actually. I don't think it gives that in the
No.
rules.
So rules as written, you can be as far away as possible.
So long as there are shadows.
We found the cheat code, boys.
It just says rules as written. It is line of sight.
Alright, so what we could do is possibly glitter bomb and then silver punch.
Well. I've never tried to actually hold this, and she holds up this like gnarly looking knuckle thing with like knife on each end. Like it looks really violent,
Uh-huh.
all shiny and silvery. I've never tried to actually use this with one of my tentacles. I don't know if I can. I can try. I can practice. I usually just use them with my own hands.
There is a limit. for
But
it.
I could potentially also blind them and stuff with my extra arms.
That might be a bit more helpful, just because these Garou, from everything that I've been understanding and my old research of it all, we really shouldn't try to fight these folk.
No.
I know. I'm
if
just
it comes
saying,
down to
in
it,
case.
I know. We need to be talking with this other pack, which Mr. Mallory and I will be scouting out soon. Time is wibbly wobbly.
Yeah.
And we'll hopefully be able to make contact and have them help us deal with the Black Spiral Dancers.
If nothing else, enemy of my enemy seems
Yeah.
like
Hey.
a fine place to start, at least.
And if they're as aggressive as we've been told, I'm pretty sure they would be more than happy to fight the Black Spiral Dancers while we sneak in and grab our comrade.
Exactly. From
At that, Rowan would pipe up. There may actually be someone that you might be able to talk to about that. The sheriff's department has been doing some independent investigation, and it does seem as though there is an individual who lives within the Fairmount Park system that you may be able to make inroads with if you're careful.
Who would that be, by chance?
He pulls out a sheaf of paper and flips through a few pages. Gentleman by the name of Whiskey Jack.
Whiskey Jack? Is that like a code name? Or I'm pretty sure that's not his legal name.
It's a person
lot of-
living in a park. I don't know how much
Oh,
legal
yes,
names
in
they
a
have.
park. In a park. Sorry, I thought he might be a homeless. Understood. He understood. This makes sense now.
A lot of what we have is based on what rumors we can gather. So it is as accurate as we can figure, but there's still a lot of room for potential error.
All right.
Is there any business each of you would like to bring up before we get down to solving some of the more pressing matters? Anything that you've discovered along the way, things that you might have stumbled into on your own that maybe the coterie should know about?
Well, the most obvious issue that I ran into has been handled, thanks to you. But its source is a little bit nebulous. I don't think it's on our plate, but it's probably something we should know about. There is a flesh crafter running around somewhere. One who is not terribly concerned about leaving monsters unattended.
Oh, is that the T-Rex thing that?
Yeah, the would have been very handy to know how big that was before we wandered into it.
Yes. Finnegan,
But-
myself, and I think one other person. I don't think you were there. No, you weren't there. We're talking about possibly talking to shadows and making sure that each coterie group has like someone they can go to, so that way they can talk to each other and make
Right.
sure that.
But
In theory, that is what your shadow is for.
Yeah, but
hopefully that's not a problem we have to deal with. But it is one that, if they are making things that strong, I have a feeling it will end up back in our sphere of influence again. But they seem to be more than willing to walk into coterie havens and steal things, since that's what apparently happened from the fledglings. Since the bones came from their haven, and they were still living there, even after knowing someone had broken in and taken things.
have they transferred yet? Do they need help transferring?
I do not know. They did not seem. They seem like they like the idea of staying there.
That
Hmm.
seems
That's
it's
not-
compromised.
what.
They
Why are
not-
we not doing something about this right
Ah.
fucking now?
Because they have
Because-
sires that they are under accounting of. That is
Yeah.
their job,
Oh, fair
not
enough.
ours.
Yeah, it's not. I would strongly recommend their shadow find a new location, but
Their shadow is working with the city in order to acquire different accommodations for their coterie.
From my understanding, their shadow did not know at the time, or probably would have moved them out sooner.
got it. Fledglings are learning. They're learning.
Well, they're allowed to make mistakes. Just
Yep.
hopefully don't sleep in somewhere that the enemy already knows where you are. Grand. That's just super. Another thing that's kind of a side tangential thing that might become something on our radar, and he kind of has like a little bit of a smile at that, and like a glimmer of like hope in his eyes.
I don't like this. You're happy.
There's more rumors of these masked gang members. I saw something in the papers.
You want to fight them,
Unfortunate-
don't you?
Unfortunately, yes. The victim was an associate of one of the neonates of the city.
Ugh.
It is a tragic loss, one that the court is working on, but we should be keeping our eyes open for these masked individuals. It seems they are aware of our existence. They are aware of our important locations and will not hesitate to set traps with us with the mortal authorities.
Fun.
Do we have anyone, or possibly within the coterie itself, something that we could have contacts within the law enforcement of Philadelphia?
That actually brings me to something very specific. Miss Blisk,
What?
I've been chatting with the prince, and it would seem that the sheriff's office may have use of your unique talents. Yes, you. Benny seems very keen on getting you on staff.
Oh, someone's getting a promotion to deputy.
Are you sure that it was me and not like any of these other ones?
You're the only Lenka Blisk in the city I'm aware of.
Yeah?
Excellent. We can set up a meeting for you to sit down with the sheriff and the prince and discuss what a possible appointment to deputy may look like moving forward.
Nito? What the fuck?
Competence is rewarded with more responsibility.
That's the thing, I'm not competent.
I think
Apparently,
you
the
are.
sheriff thinks you are.
You might need to start accepting that.
Benny is crazy. Said
Don't
with
say that too
kindness.
loud. She might hear you.
Sure, she might take that as a compliment.
Crazy!
You say that, you might get promoted again. Nothing you can do can make you escape responsibility.
There's one.
There
thing
is
you
one
can
thing
do.
I can
Yeah.
There is one. I mean, are you willing to do it?
I'll just cut that.
Not right now.
Creative.
Perfect. A couple of things that I should probably bring up with the coterie. Number one, Rowan, Sifra, and I, and a couple of others went on a little mission a couple days ago in regards to some magic is a strong word, but also not an incorrect word. Basically, we went to a location to try and figure out where this leak of the ley lines were, and we kind of found, well, Rowan, why don't you explain? Because I kind of forgot.
Sifra actually has a full briefing prepared on that.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Go ahead, Dragonfly.
Sifra is super stoked. Like, she pulls out a laptop and starts plugging stuff in. She has a PowerPoint, and it is all bright, lovely colors.
Let's go, PowerPoint.
Definitely,
Like, it takes
like
a few steps back.
definitely like proud dad, but be like, oh goodness, I get to see this.
Just like bright, pretty colors. Oh, right. So, we went down into an area, and then, so what had happened was, and she flips the picture, and it is just a map of the ley lines.
So what happened?
So what had happened was, there are lots of ley lines, so there are lots of places where certain kinds of magic are more active. Philadelphia has some of the most I think I've ever seen. And like you can see, this color indicates oblivion magic is stronger here, and this color indicates that thaumaturgy is stronger, and this color seems to be some form of elemental magic, and this color over here seems to indicate fey magic, and the fey ley lines have gotten a bit wider in recent months, which is probably something we should keep an eye on, but not the point of this brief. So as you can see, it's just kind of an interlocking web with all different forms of magical talent on it, except right here, and she points to a spot that should be blank on the map. Which is, and I lost the word, it's the building across the street from the one that contains the Liberty Bell. I lost the name of the place.
Independence Hall.
Thank you. Except right there. So there's no ley lines that are supposed to be active right there. This is supposed to be sort of a blank zone. But it's not.
Zero, can you go ahead and now, with all of this kind of up on display,
Mhm.
go ahead and give me an intelligence and occult. Yes, you can add your specialty.
The fact I didn't have to ask scares me. Okay. All right. That's a lot of dice.
And Seifer mentions the Fey ley lines. Finn just takes the ring out from under his kind of shirt on the iron chain and just starts fiddling with it.
This is not strength of will, so I'm not going to add those 2 dice. That is... I'm not going to blood surge because I'm already dangerous.
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
Okay. No,
Not
that is a good dice pool for Elmo, and that is a goodly amount of successes.
That's a good dice pool.
You can see several places on the map that would be considered what they call a furcus. These knots of geomantic energy that amplify one's own magical abilities.
He jots that down for later. Are there any nearby?
Several, as a matter of fact. Philadelphia is littered with these places of power. Many of them are under prominent places: City Hall, the Comcast Tower, various landmarks throughout the city, Love Park. It almost seems like the streets themselves were built over top of these ley lines. Philadelphia is a strange town, and
Dragon
it
line.
shows.
Zero makes note to check those out later.
What was that, Luke?
Dragon lines.
Yes.
Every city, major cities, longer if they live long enough, seem to follow these. Whether the real question is, does the city grow around the lines, or do the lines match the city? It's always one that's fun to, because they move.
That's true.
Like a river. But, London had a bunch. Edinburgh, those kind of things.
At least up to this point, I think it's a safe assumption to think that the city was built around the ley lines rather than the other way around. At least based on American history.
Blanca leans over towards Zero, looks at the notes, whispers, "Can I have a copy of those for Cyrene?"
Oh, that's adorable. Getting a copy of notes for Cyrene.
That's how you really know they love each other. She's getting notes.
Bring home the homework.
Yeah,
I'm gonna need some of this nerd shit from my nerd partner.
So
exactly.
how did they know about it 300 years ago?
Because they're rivers of energy. Everyone can feel them in certain ways. You've been in a church or a monument or a park, and you feel that energy. You feel it somewhat. They can just tap into that. At least that's how the stories have always worked.
It's like the Druids at Stonehenge, how they were able to align everything to, and also there's one about a bit north of Dublin.
Yeah.
Oh,
Lines run right through there as well. I would imagine if you looked at that map, there's a big convergence right there at Stonehenge. That there is under other places of power or recognition. It's where did we put it here because it's a place of power, or did we make it a place of power by putting it here? Is always
an eternal debate.
Also, there's a surprising amount of not just our kind, but also like Fae and Changeling and Mage and Garu that are just walking amongst the everyman that hold jobs such as road working. And so, like, if they can feel it and
Fair
they
enough,
want
fair
to
enough.
more power, make the roads.
Fair enough. All right. Well, and so one of them was leaking. We'll we'll talk more later, maybe, about the Fey one, but leaking.
Well, so there's not really supposed to be one there necessarily. It's usually they pop up where there are a lot of congealed magic types, right? This one didn't have anything really around it. So best guess is that it was a ritual site.
Definitely looked like a ritual place.
And in order to, the going theory is that it was created out of an overabundance of magic, which is a new one for me.
All right. Do we need to send a team to Independence Hall to investigate?
Oh, it's been investigated.
Yeah.
Good. Hey,
We now need a
just
team to dispose.
We need magicians of a certain caliber, is all.
Oh, right. All right. Kind
It's,
of.
odd question, Seafra, since you've been there for both of them. Do the doors we've walked through have any line up with these ley lines?
Yeah,
I
Not-
kind of figured they might, at least somewhat.
yeah. It's almost like they're siphoning power from them.
I would imagine it takes a good chunk of energy to punch through between worlds. So,
And that neonate, the one with the scar on his face, your employee,
Yeah.
didn't he say that there was something specific that triggered this leak to start happening? I suppose.
Oh, I don't think Colin said it. I think
Oh,
Liam might have hinted.
oh, Liam. Neonates confuse me and scare me, but yes.
Apparently they fought this like Shadow Oblivion thing.
Mm-hmm.
The Kraken.
Yeah, that thing. The Shadow Oblivion thing.
And apparently, yeah. Go ahead.
The Kraken of Stygia, near as we can tell, a creature of immense power.
And tentacles.
Yes. There has been a interesting development in regards to that. Few individuals from the city, namely the prince, the sheriff, Thomas Pierce of the Ventru, Liam Moriarty of the Zemis, and Oscar Sullivan of the La Sombra went on a mission to investigate an area where they fought the Kraken of Stygia and some cultists. It would seem that we should be very careful because that chain of events has led to a leak in Oblivion. Stygia is slowly pouring into our world.
Sounds bad.
Very.
Yeah.
We need to find a way to plug it.
I don't know about plug, but you realize there are ways to take away from these furci, right?
Yes.
So at least we can manage the leaks and these random furci for at least a while.
Manage is a good idea. Fixing is best.
Hey, is there no kind of solution for this?
Well, so the problem is so far The only individuals who have been strong enough to learn the ritual are myself and one of the fledglings. And I'm going to be able to do a lot more of that sort of drain than the fledgling.
What do you?
I wouldn't mind
strong enough.
learning it as
Fledgling
well.
can do it if I can.
Well,
Yeah.
there's some danger involved with what we do.
Yeah.
What is the ritual? Can anyone learn it?
If they're strong enough magically.
I would definitely love to give it a go when we have the chance, Sifra.
I'm really good at making a coin appear behind your ear, but that's about all I got.
I can use shadows. That's probably all I can do.
Right. So your type of oblivion is less about ritual and more about physicality. It's what you are, not what you learn. And this particular uh, ceremony, well, it probably wouldn't be real wise for you to learn it since you don't have the education involved for dealing with that sort of magic. And like I taught everybody along on that mission, rule 1 for dealing with unfamiliar magic is don't.
Got it. I have no intention of learning any sort of magic. So
I have every intention.
From a out of character standpoint, you would need at least 2 dots in one of the magical disciplines.
I have that.
Thaumaturgy, oblivion that uses ceremonies, or mythosaria.
Oh.
Hey, look, I've got 2 of those.
I only have blood sorcery.
No, it's thaumaturgy.
Yeah, oh yeah, then yeah, I also have that. We could do it together.
I've never been much on the rituals, but
Together.
I know the
It would be a
basics.
bonding experience.
Yeah.
Well, since you are being so kind as to teach my melty friend how to do swords, I might be able to up your ability to utilize rites and ceremony.
If you think they would be useful, I'm always willing to at least learn the basics. If nothing else, I'll know what to look for later.
And it may benefit you to perhaps speak with Marana about some of your family's other abilities. It's clear that Rowan is talking about Quietus.
Wait, we have other. Oh, you mean
No.
his pointy teeth family? Okay.
Yes, that side of things.
The mom's side, not dad's side.
Honestly, I'm not sure on that that point. I would imagine father's side. At least that's how the specter appears when it does, but as for the other side, I think that goes back farther than this. So
But yeah, so we did a little bit of research into that. Just something to keep your eyes out. I know that Sifra is going to be teaching a couple of us that, probably Luke and myself. And then not something that we necessarily need to fix, just something to keep an eye on because we are older. And then he just kind of gets like a distant look in his eye as he kind of zones out before he just kind of comes back and just, and I think that's it.
Right. So we have these mages that are tearing doors in reality into other timeline. It's just the one dot intelligence is just really trying hard to connect
It's
the dots
bouncing. It's almost at a corner.
and contribute.
It's the bouncing DVD logo. Yeah.
You said that there were these mages that need to get eliminated, right?
What?
No, just that there are certain spheres that mages truck in that are connected to what's going on.
Do I know which sphere specifically?
You would know that it's all of them.
Great. Oh, awesome. I'm so
Yeah.
glad that I know that information.
I'm
Maybe.
just saying, if someone's tearing holes in reality, I think that's a problem and they should be removed. That's all I'm saying.
As a matter of fact, given your background, Zero, you can go ahead and give me an intelligence and occult with your specialty
What does
and
that
see
mean?
just how bad it is.
Honestly,
Ah.
it's pretty par for the course for those poking around things to grab for too much and cause problems.
No way. See,
I'm
they're
gonna
causing problems, so we need to remove them.
Is 4 enough?
Finn and Lenka across the table, just like nodding.
Is 4
There
enough?
are
Okay.
there are things here that scream Euthanatoi. There are things here that scream Nefandi.
Zero's just like is thinking for a moment, and then his eyes just go wide.
No, thank you.
Hey, so we should probably deal with the reality stuff sooner rather than later, just for no reason whatsoever other than the fact that it could literally make everything fall apart.
See, but that sounds like a really good reason, so you should maybe explain that more. What are you looking at? Why did it make you freak out?
Baby
Well,
terms. Baby terms.
oh Jesus. Mage
My
and
brain is fried, okay?
Okay, well, it's really hard to explain anything with the mages in baby terms because you need to have a certain level of understanding of just the world in general.
Finn just kind of leans across the table, like on an elbow, and points to Zero, just like, try. I beg you.
Okay. So, God, this is going to be the worst. So, you know how reality is like this?
God, you were already failing.
Luke in the background just. Boo.
It's
Gonna
like
need you to dumb it down for me, Chief.
reality is like
Get
a
stupider.
circle. So there's one big circle and we all live in it.
Right.
Do I still have you?
Right.
Okay. Inside this circle, there are smaller circles.
Right.
Okay. Each of these circles are like a area of reality that needs to continuously work to make the big circle stay a circle.
Right. Or cogs.
What happens when one of these circles breaks?
The machine gets slowed down and it needs to be fixed and replaced.
But what happens if the machine that can't be replaced, there's nothing replaceable?
That's
It
a
looks
big
like
fucking machine, and
I know,
the creator needs to be fired.
I know.
Lego? Yes, go ahead. Yes. My
No,
brilliant pupil.
Yeah, so it's like a balloon with a bigger balloon inside, and like mini balloons inside of that. And if the balloons explode, then it's a chain reaction of balloons exploding.
Yes. That.
I got it.
Oh.
It's really hard to put a balloon back after it's exploded.
It is. I've tried.
Okay. So has the balloon exploded yet, or is it just showing signs of doing it?
Let's just say there are some people with needles that really want to see it happen.
And we have to stop the people with needles.
Take
Yes.
the needles away from them.
Got it.
I don't know how I did that, but bloody hell, I'm brilliant.
We are so
solved the
smart,
war
you
on
guys.
Hey, Linka helped.
Lega
I
did
did.
help.
I did.
All right. So these, yeah. All right. Okay. So
So we need to find the people with the needles and not necessarily destroy them, but take away the needle.
Yes. But well, so this is more important than the Black Spiral dancers?
Well, depends.
Could you
One
shift focus?
deputy, the entirety of reality. What do you think is more important?
Well, while I don't disagree, it is important to recognize that one problem we can fix and one problem we can't, at least not right now.
That sounds, more manageable is the puppers. I'll be
How
honest with you.
on earth would you even like? How do you take away their needles? Do you just chop off their hands?
No, you.
Because we could do that.
Nope.
Or their heads.
Nope.
No.
So,
Got a point.
mages
I
Right.
are people.
I mean, the traditional answer is set them on fire, but that doesn't work well. It
Right.
lasts for lots of people.
Mages are people.
I found that
They
if I
are-
hit them hard enough with my stick, anything will stop moving.
Well, there are people are these conduits for these things called avatars.
Zero?
I've lost you.
Zero, what's a conduit?
It's like when one of the ghosty people possesses you.
Correct. There we go.
Okay. Hey, like this guy. Wherever it is.
Fennec, I'm laughing so that way I don't cry. But yes, so these people, anyone
Right.
could become a conduit for these avatars. They're called sleepers. That's what everyone is. Everyone is a sleeper unless their avatar is awakened. And this avatar helps them create reality warping magics.
Okay.
Gives
We're
them
getting-
needles.
okay.
We're getting the
Okay,
mechanics
okay.
here, but
So there's
Gives them
people
needles.
that are pretending to be people.
No. They are themselves, but they are also their avatars.
There are two people at the same time.
Lost everyone at the table.
Well,
A little bit of blood.
you-
just-
Zero.
you got
zero.
into minutia where we needed answers about what we can do, because there's nothing we can do to affect ghostly avatars that are granting power.
To anyone.
Right. Correct.
But the person part is something we can answer if we know where they are. But-
Yes, it's like finding a needle in a stack of needles.
There's
But
too
that's
many
just
needles in
picking
this
all
analogy.
of them up and
A
go
lot of
kaboom.
needles. I was just about to say.
Why don't we just leave this place and just nuke it?
Because
Well-
this is where all my stuff is.
Like, I know, but like, if it's such a big problem, like,
But I like this place.
I
And
would
also-
like to think that reality, as a whole concept, is like more important than your fucking stuff.
Yeah, but you're talking about to stop this, it's nuking all of reality because they're all here.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's
Wouldn't that
reality
fix the
itself.
problem?
No.
Like
Yeah.
removing the needles.
No, because
boom,
there'll
boom.
always be more mages.
So we would have to like nuke the entire world.
Exactly.
Because they're everywhere.
They were
That's the
saying, they
problem.
were saying, well, yes, it's a
You
massive
realize how big
problem.
a
That's why they have the tech. That's why they're in spheres. That's why they have levels, and they have kind of like what we do, except not. And they have a bigger thing called the technocracy that yes and no keeps things in place and also destroys everything. But that's besides the point. I'm adding too many things that's going to make you more confused.
Correct.
I mean, the upshot kind of is that since we don't know what we're dealing with right now, maybe it would be wiser to keep that as something that we keep an eye on and research. And, like that drunk thing where you're controlling the things you can.
Yes.
Ah,
To a degree, yes.
So it's above our pay grade.
and also, how would you get a nuclear weapon?
You've met Mrs.
I-
Sexton, right?
I
Well,
have my ways.
Well, yes, but
Historically, the
I don't
U.S. has
think
lost
she
a
would
bunch.
want-
We could probably find one.
I don't
It
think
is-
it's that hard, honestly.
It is shockingly easy to get physical material.
Yeah.
Also, you can
Also,
just-
if you find a correct mage and you make sure no
No.
one's looking, they can make one for you very easily.
Thank you for the notes, everyone.
I mean,
But yes, it seems that these mages are a massive problem that is happening not just in Philadelphia but everywhere.
Mages aren't necessarily a problem. They're just there.
so we tell them, we tell them, please don't use your fucking needles. You're gonna ruin everything.
Well, you have to talk their language, and there is a possibility that they could listen or they
What
couldn't.
language
when
do they speak? Russian?
Ah,
I mean,
Zero
do
is
they
looking
speak
around for a
English?
camera to look at it like in the office.
like,
and it's just staring into the hardwood of the desk. of the
like, okay,
table.
what? Imagine. Hey, okay, Sarah,
Uh-huh.
play with me here. So,
No, but go on.
hey, Sarah, yes, you will. Okay. Imagine you're a needle guy, right? And I sit here.
I
and
was.
talk to you. Wait, what?
Go on.
So I sit here and I talk to you, and you would understand me, correct? Why? Explain to me. Why can't I just be like, hey, guy, do you like not?
Paradox.
I like existing.
And they don't.
You?
No,
They
they don't.
do.
That's the thing. I think it's like the Sabbat. Like some people you can't fucking reason with. Like
No.
Oh, it's like, are they, you know how like some people, some magicians can do like balloon animals? Are they like so reality is like the metaphor for like a balloon.
all
right?
of this is a
they're
metaphor.
like, they
I
can
think
make
all of
like
it is a
a
metaphor.
balloon animal.
Zero
out
is
of
just looking
reality.
out the window at this point, just like,
It's-
God damn
Out the
it.
window, you'd say?
Am I close?
Out the window.
Your courtyard friend is staring intently.
At us?
Yes.
How great.
Zero just kind of looks at it like, are you hearing this shit?
There's the camera. You found the camera.
I found it.
Listen,
I-
deadpan to our weeping angel friend.
Yeah, Zero's just like Lenka.
Yeah, but like,
Lenka.
listen.
Lenka,
What?
our friend is looking at us.
Who's up? Who? What?
In the moment it takes you to get Linka's attention, when the two of you look back out the window, the plinth that the gargoyles stood on is empty.
What?
We should probably add that to the to-do list.
We're adding that to the to-do list. That's being added to the to-do list.
Is that something that we want to do now? Since it's not-
What
Well,
do
it's-
we want to do? What is going on? Fill
Well,
me in.
The gargoyle
I-
that lives in the courtyard.
I'm
Yeah.
going to compile a list of how to explain mages for. I
Balloon
feel like if
animals.
I put
just did
mages
it.
for dummies. Nope, you didn't. I feel like mages for dummies
Oh.
would be insulting. Mages for the magically unaware, and I'll make that for you.
All right.
But for right now, we should probably deal with the our stone friend that can.
How are we gonna deal with it? It's gone.
Did our stone friend get shy?
Yeah, it shrank. I don't know.
I'll make
Guy.
them some more later on, and Finn just kind of walks out towards the front door, takes out another little parcel of like summertime baked treats,
You're giving cookies to the gargoyle.
sets it outside, and just like, Hey there. I don't right know if you know Quasimodo, but he likes Legos. I don't know what you like. If you let me know what you like, I'll get you it. All right. Kind of close the door.
Luke, Lenka, and Zero, while Finnegan is doing this, can you please give me a wits and awareness?
No.
Oh, I don't.
I'm no, because you're at the front door, so you're a little ways away from the dining room meeting area.
Oh, great.
Great.
Wait, who had to roll?
All of you.
Everyone
Wits and
else.
awareness.
4, 5. All right. I'm going to use a willpower to see if I can at least get 3 successes. I got 2 successes.
Okay. For our 2 successes, you can hear Mr. Carey cursing from one of the adjacent rooms. Just a string of expletives in a language you don't fully understand.
We should check that. We should check that out.
Luke, before you heard Mr. Carey cursing, you heard what sounded like scratching, like something gouging into wood. And Lenka, you heard much the same, but in between the scratching of the wood and Mr. Carey cursing, you heard him enter the room. So there was the scratching of the wood, then Mr. Carey enters the room, and he starts cursing.
We should check that out. We should.
Runs to
I-
check it out.
I'm gonna follow Lenka.
I would like to let it be known that it does not sound like he is in danger. It sounds like he is angry.
Yeah.
You said he's cursing in a language that people don't know, or
What languages do you speak again?
English, Welsh, French, Latin, Arabic, Irish, Gaelic, Spanish, and Greek.
Okay, so you understand what he's saying. Zero, what do you speak again?
Oh God. Where is it? It. Language. Where are you? Ancient and modern Greek, Latin, Spanish, English, Italian.
Okay, so you don't.
Okay.
For those of us who speak Welsh, you would understand perfectly what this man is saying. And it's something to the effect of goddamn kids and their goddamn graffiti.
Oh.
Yeah, Luke will. Well, since it doesn't sound like it is a danger, he's not moving supernaturally fast, but he will head that way because the scratching of wood and yelling at graffiti means someone has left us a message, probably. So we're gonna go see what someone has left us.
Yeah, it's walking with purpose, not walking with haste.
And here, Lenka yeets herself up, probably knocking over her chair, runs towards him.
He's not okay.
As you enter the room, written in what appears to be struggling capital letters scratched into the wooden floor of the kitchen of Powell House, you would see the words Game Machine Help.
Huh?
Game Machine Help.
But to the keen eyes, specifically Luke and Lenka, this looks like this was scratched into the floor with a claw.
Maybe our friend just needs to help to beat a boss in a video game or something, or maybe it broke, or maybe we need to help reset the thing.
Who lives in a front yard? I mean,
yeah. I mean, maybe they're playing Xbox in the attic. I don't know.
Game Machine Help.
Do we have some kind of arcade machine, some pinball machine or some nonsense here at Powell House?
Is there anything that I can roll to connect my brain cells to kind of figure out what this is?
There are some things in Powell House that might provide some context, but go ahead and give me a... Do you have a history specialty for your academics, Zero?
Greek mythology, unfortunately.
Ah. Hmm. And we're going to. There we go. So we're just gonna. There we go. Go ahead and give me a wits and intelligence.
What's intelligence?
Those of you who want to try to piece something together. While you're doing that, Cyrene, you show up at Powell House a little late. Traffic has been intense this evening, but you find the coterie gathered. Okay.
Would you say this is strength of will?
No, this is a test of memory.
God dang it. Okay.
Sorry, I unplugged my headphones. What did you ask of me?
You are arriving at Powell House to find your coterie gathered in what used to be the kitchen of Powell House, with some words scrawled on the floor.
I'm gonna re-roll something real quick. I don't know if I can re-roll out of that.
Oh, buddy.
We
I mean,
Try.
it's graffiti that says usurpers on it.
Nope. It is graffiti that says
No.
game, machine, help.
Game machine. Okay.
All right.
All
Let
right.
Could
me-
I, seeing this, Cyrene is going to cock their head confused?
Oh, hey there. Yeah, no, it's just happened. No ideas.
Right. Would because Fennec has an idea of what this is. What would Cyrene need to roll to try and figure this out?
Do you have a history specialty for academics?
I have theology, which
You can always roll an intelligence in academics. I just
Okay.
asking to see what the difficulty is going to be for that specific role. Zero,
Hi, how's it going?
my buddy, my pal.
Hey, what's up?
You are going to be suffering a 2 dice penalty to all mental rolls for the remainder of the session.
Okay.
Because you are spiraling.
The ley lines, the connections, it's everywhere.
You are in full on Pepe Sylvia mode.
The voices!
the voices.
Let me
Had a
just
lot
check
of that
something
today.
here real quick. I don't think I would get my library specialty. I'm rolling a skill check with it.
Zero just stares off into the distance as he just thinks about the conversation that he just had with Lenka, and just every so often just takes more psychic damage.
Just you can't get the idea of balloon animals out of your head. You're like, no, get out of here.
Starts imagining avatars as balloon animals. Starts imagining his avatar that was once could have possibly been a balloon animal.
Balloon animals within balloon animals.
Question for you, Einar.
Answer for you.
With the Dolchinsky lore sheet, how it's written, it says whenever rolling a skill check with a specialty in these, when you pick with like the 3 skills, and I picked academics and occult, I would get to add a die to the roll, even if I'm not using my specialty with how it's written, because I have a specialty in it.
I will allow it.
Okay, thank you. I'm more than happy to take the no on it.
Luke, is that for your history roll? Your intelligence and
Yes.
academics?
Yes.
Okay.
I would
Okay.
like to crit fish.
Sure.
My
I will
academics
see.
is English lit, so I didn't add that, but that is
Okay.
the-
So both of you would remember, because this is something that is taught quite frequently in American history,
Shame.
to the point where it comes to you with shocking speed. Philadelphia is home still to a great deal of what is considered the lost inventions of Benjamin Franklin. Various strange machines that he had created over the years. Not just the potbelly stove, bifocals, the stuff that we're aware of, but there were rumors that crackpot academics have floated over the years that there are other stranger, more esoteric machines that can be found throughout the city of Philadelphia. Luke, for your crit, you have consumed stories about some of these machines. There are things in this city that defy explanation.
some national treasure nonsense.
Absolutely. Yes. Franklin was well known for his, we'll call it, innovative lock design. So it is very possible in areas of this city that are considered connected to Benjamin Franklin, there may be items that can be found. These items may potentially be what your gargoyle friend is talking about.
I'll kind of let everyone know. I went outside and gave it some treats, but asked what it could want. Maybe there's its way of asking.
Cyrene will look over at Finn, or not Finn, and nod, and then look at Luke. You getting Ben Franklin off this too?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Kind of know some of the time period from where the gargoyle's from that kind of lines up somewhat. And we're here, so I would guess something here in the house then?
So,
So there might possibly be a
Might
invention
be
in the house.
in the attic, in the basement, in some place that no one else goes. I hate to do this. Mr. Carey,
Yes.
are there any parts of the building that are more off limits or would have been hidden? Passageways, rooms, secret libraries, those types of things?
His eyes will narrow, not in a suspicious way, but more of a, you could tell he's searching through his memory.
Oh, he's thinking. This is his thinking face.
thinking. That's suspicious.
Yeah.
Well, there is one room that we intentionally leave it off the tour, but it was a meeting room of sorts for the Sons of Liberty.
Can you show us?
Yes.
Please? Oh, hell yeah.
And
Yeah.
he brings you through a small hallway into what looks to be a sitting room that is implausibly small for the area of the house that you are in. He walks over to the piano that stands against the wall, and he plays 4 notes. C, A, G, and E.
Cage.
and one of the bookcases clicks and opens. Inside looks to be a collection of models. One of them being a chessboard with a little placard underneath it that simply reads "Home Sweet Home."
Zero is horny for the amount of inventions and models in this room.
But these all appear to be smaller scale models of things that Franklin has designed over the years. Some of them look a lot more recent than the date of Franklin's death.
Our
Incorporating-
gargoyle hunter.
Incorporating designs that
How?
could not have had, those elements could not have existed
McCoy!
in the 1700s.
Interesting.
Zero walked in and just kind of stares. It's like something scratched the back of his brain just in the right place.
How?
there's things in here, but there's one game, so perhaps focus there for the moment.
Everything is true. Anything is possible. This is...
Oh goodness, we're going down different rabbit holes again, and Finn just starts
All right.
wandering through with Tay, in almost like a wandering through these little aisles.
How?
I really am sorry, kids, but it does seem like maybe a couple of your problems might be interconnected.
This
Hey.
is...
Always.
This is...
Well-
This is...
It just strikes me that, well, I might have done a little bit of peeking at the reports, and if Mr. Franklin was involved at the ritual site under Independence Hall, and some of his designs are involved with your gargoyle friend, might could be that this is a interconnected rabbit hole, more of a warren.
No, that makes sense, Mr. Carey. I'm just... And Cyrene's looking around, and though y'all have probably kind of maybe seen her, Lank has probably seen her the most, but there can be a noticeable difference of how Cyrene is taking a mental calculation and standing a little straighter as they are looking about the room and everything. Because for the past week or so, she's been off doing some intensive training in game time.
This... If the engineers got their hands on this, reality itself could unwind.
And we need to make sure that doesn't happen.
Just kind of looks like a bunch of stuff, though.
Yeah,
Stuff.
Lenka, this looks like a room of clockwork toys.
Why is this important? Could you explain it? I guess it just looks like a bunch of trash.
If I'm picking up what Mr. Carey's putting down, Benjamin Franklin is a supernatural and has been doing stuff in the city, causing them weird portals and shit potentially.
Wait,
Maybe not
Benjamin
necessarily.
Franklin?
Maybe not necessarily the portals. Those, I mean, I don't really subscribe to a lot of that special effects hokum, but definitely seems like the mission that you were on, Zero, specifically might have something to do with all of this.
I mean, yeah, I don't think that this could possibly be the mage related with the portals, because in of itself mages are still mortal and they have a lifespan. But this, it's possible that maybe the ghost of Benjamin Franklin has been possessing people, creating things, and then trying to find a way to get back into the land of the living by
Is
opening
Benjamin Franklin a mage?
portals. No,
I've
no.
often found when you hear
Take the mage, throw it out.
I've often found when you hear the sound of hoofbeats, it's best to think horses, not unicorns.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Throw the mage out.
Wait. So now you're willing to throw away the mage?
No, they're not connected. What I'm telling you is they're not connected.
Oh.
I just wanted
They're
to-
two
I get it.
different
I was
problems.
just wondering-
Yeah, I get it. Okay, I see. I get it.
All right,
Sorry.
so we have the ghost of Benjamin Franklin possessing our gargoyle.
No, probably not even a ghost. Just he was a weird occultist back in the day. He probably tampered with
Yeah.
things, and we're still dealing with it now. We don't
God, it's-
know if he's still around, but
Hopefully not.
There is a possibility. There is not. We're not entirely sure. But no matter what, the gargoyle and the ley lines leaking and this is all connected.
And just continues looking for some kind of game machine amongst all of this, some kind of like thing that looks like a toy.
just looking at the chess game that's at Home Sweet Home, is it
Yeah,
set
I'm
up
also
to like
looking at the chess
start
game.
a game, or is it set up like in the middle of a game?
It is set up like it is in the middle of a game. As a matter of fact, go ahead and give me a wits and intelligence, please.
Can I also, since I'm also looking at it?
Yes. Finnegan,
Okay.
please give me a wits and awareness, or resolve and awareness, please.
Got it.
As Cyrene is looking, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to ask if I could add paranoia.
Not to this one.
Perfect. Go ahead.
No, Cyrene is just trying to find the object in the room that has, like, I'm assuming there's dust all around, but the most dust that's kind of moved, indicating has been moved the most or touched
Correct.
the most recently.
Everything is covered with a layer of dust. Some has less dust on it than others. But, so, Luke, 0.
Sarah, how
As
is
your-
your wits intelligence 3 dice?
Because I currently
'cause
have a negative 2.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. I was just like, wait a second, something is wrong here.
You can
Because
tell
I
that the
currently got
board.
hit with the stupid.
You can tell that the board is currently set up as though it is in the middle of the white pieces are set up for a Queen's Gambit.
Okay.
Finnegan,
Hey,
you find the one thing in the room that has the least amount of dust on it. It only seems to be a few months worth of dust accumulation at best.
what is
It is a key. It is a large brass key that has what look to be various seams along it.
Like welding seams? Ma.
Test 1, 2, 3.
All right, there we go. Sorry about that. Temporary audio issues. Say again, Finnegan.
Goodness.
Big brass key.
Big brass key.
Something like-
Is it like welding seams?
No, these are almost as though this is where parts of it can slide or move against itself, like a puzzle.
Finn goes to reach for it, but then thinks better and then just raises his hand and it's just like, we found a collapsible key? I don't know.
Okay, hang on. And Cyrene will make her way over and look at it.
Do it, Cyrene. Do the bad idea.
She's thinking about it and looks at Finn, looks at Arwen, looks at Tay. Okay, so, all right. I have an idea, but yeah, it's gonna be a bad idea.
Should we do
I
the bad
mean-
idea?
If we're all here to make sure that you stay safe,
Yeah, no, I'm gonna see what I can't get off of it just by looking at it first, and then we'll see what I can get off of it by the spooky woo woo touches.
all right, just be careful.
Okay. Is there a way by looking at it to figure out how to solve it?
Let me take a peek at something here real quick. Fuck.
Curse you, tech gremlins. I see you in chat, Shazi. Stop eating the cables.
Sorry about that, gang. My headset's been acting up like a troubled child on crack.
It's all good.
Anyway, go ahead and give me either an intelligence and science or an intelligence and technology, please.
Okay. Intelligence and science is going to be better, and I'm assuming my biology specialty won't come into effect with this one.
Considering it is a big brass key, no.
I had to try.
And we love you for that, but no.
Would you like some help?
Sure, I will take an assistance die.
I offer help.
That brings me up to 7. I don't think 3 is going to do it.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I could spend the willpower.
You could.
I could. Yeah, I'll spend it.
You've got to burn.
I do. Let's try. Hey, 6 successes with crit.
As you are turning this key over in your hands, looking at it, it is like the old style skeleton keys. But as you are turning it over in your hands, the head and the bitting of the key slide in opposite directions, and you hear a click, and the key slides out further, exposing what was a single bit now into a double bit.
Oh, it's a big key now.
It's a big key. It seems to... It doesn't indicate there if I keep twisting it will get bigger and bigger. Just that this is its final form.
This seems to be one step.
Okay.
But the key is bifurcated. So it has slid along the center axis. So one half has slid out and now feels a little loose.
Okay.
And starts looking
Loose.
around
So,
for a
like,
really
can be
big
pulled
block.
apart loose?
It almost feels like it wants to pivot.
Okay. We'll try pivoting it.
So you are able to flip the bitting over so that one half of the bit is now near the head. and you hear another click as it feels as though you can rotate the key as you had the first time.
Does it again?
I
The
love how we're playing Bop It with a brass key.
the bits now align so that they are both facing in the same direction, and there is another click as the key kind of collapses back to its original size, as though it's now locked into place. But there are words
Oh.
that you can now see. And if you'll give me one moment to pull up my...
The words are you lost the game.
It is an address. 317 Chestnut Street, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19106. And for those of you who are up to snuff on both your history and modern day knowledge, that is not only the location of the Benjamin Franklin Museum, but it is also his former residence.
And for those of us with knowledge of the city, where does that sit territory-wise? Like, who controls that part of the city? I know we don't really have that as much broken down, but
Yeah.
That is within the prince's domain.
okay.
It's not far from Independence Hall.
We
Yeah, I kind of
could
figured as much.
go there.
It's also not all that terribly far from Powell House.
Right.
I'm pretty sure a bunch of us have cars, or I can shove you in my car, or we can get a
field trip.
little field trip.
I would like
Yeah,
to take this
Cyrene will
moment
just
to let us know that we have 30 minutes remaining in our session.
Yeah.
We might be able to do
Okay.
a field trip next time.
Right.
No, but
But you can schedule a coterie session where y'all get together and investigate this outside of your regularly scheduled coterie sessions.
I think we should.
I think that might be
Yeah.
a good idea.
Luke is still kind of staring at this chessboard, and he kind of just asks to the crowd, to the room, accept or deny.
Wait,
Hmm.
what's the question?
That is
Accept
the
or
question.
deny.
Accept
And the
or
fact
deny.
that it is the Queen's Gambit.
Yes. Do we accept the gambit or deny the gambit?
Hmm.
If we're playing by old rules, like
Yes,
there
yes.
were defenses, obviously, but
Isn't the Queen's Gambit that show?
Accept.
accept.
The lady?
Accept.
It's more risky, but yeah. Luke will move the black side to whatever because I don't know chess well enough, so I had to go and look this up. But I figured Luke does. That
High risk, high reward.
that he would essentially go into the Queen's Gambit accepted, where there's annotations for it, which I don't really get, but he will play out the game that way, which is more of the risky way of trying to take back control of the center of the board from White's Gambit, which is what they're trying to do.
As you accept the gambit, there is a click, and the board rises from the plinth that it is on.
Hell yeah.
The remainder of the pieces feel as though they are locked in place. But inside, underneath the board, is another message carved into a brass placard set into the wooden plinth that the board had sat in. My greatest work, the most dangerous weapon. The key will unlock the way.
We did this backwards, folks.
Well. Only a little bit.
Yeah.
The first one said home sweet home. We found the key. It gave us the address of his home, and it says that the key will lead us to a door and a weapon. So I think we know where
Well-
we are going next.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey, we
it
got
could be a
there.
weapon or it could be blueprints.
Yes. But I think where we are, we have at least thoughts on what we're doing next.
Definitely.
So I think now is a good spot for parting shots.
Yeah.
How would the coterie like to proceed from here? And we can get something on the books and go on a little coterie field trip when we next get together, whether that be scheduled by y'all or a special session.
I think we should probably look for, like, we should probably do a coterie field trip.
Mm.
Yeah. I like the idea of going and checking this out together.
I could go talk to Mama about that other thing.
That definitely sounds like a good side session.
Anyone
Yeah.
want to come with? She's real nice.
I'm gonna decline.
I think I'll pass on that
Strongly
one.
decline.
You sure?
How badly do you want me to go with you?
I don't.
Okay, then I don't.
She'll
go.
eat you alive
Well, there we
and
go.
dead.
Then I don't need to go.
I mean, for
Um,
your sake. I mean, you can come if you want to, but like, it's just...
What
Um,
if Finnegan and I go check out the Whiskey Jack?
I'll find out more about this contact.
Yeah.
Unless we run into
Well-
him, we already are planning to go walk the park anyway. So
That is very true. Is
Oh.
he on our list for the parks? Because I was just about to say.
he's not on the list because we didn't know about him. But our session is to go wander the park on the 9th, so we've got that session already. So I figured that that's probably when we're going to run into him.
Perfect. We'll keep an eye out. I was looking up on the events when that was. Great. I also have some contacts within animal control. I'll keep an eye out for wolf attacks.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Cyrene will be happy to kind of help float wherever needed, and I think we can handle in my channel, but kind of doing spirits touch on the chessboard and the key to see if we can't get more information before this special session that we're gonna do.
Yeah, I can help with that as well.
Do we need to scout out Benjamin Franklin's old house?
I don't necessarily think that it needs to be scouted. It is a historic landmark,
There's
which
enough
makes
public
it
information.
fall under the purview of the Historical Society, which your big boss is currently the head of.
Hey.
Yeah.
Ooh. Maybe we should ask John if we can just get it cleared out for us for like a day. That'd be great.
That might be something worth reaching out to your shadow or the prince for.
Most historical buildings are empty at night because night. But having it not set off alarms that we're wandering around,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that would be good.
No one asks questions.
This is a question for me because I have forgotten something as I was looking at this event for our walk in the park. Who's Doug?
The gangrel.
The Gangrel Primogen.
Okay, because I was
Doug
like, I am missing something here because it's like I know most of these names and Doug, and I'm like, wait a
And
second, did we meet a Doug? Do we know a Doug? What is Doug
Doug
doing?
Dimmadome.
Has Doug been with us the whole time?
I don't think so. I think I would have noticed a guy named Doug. Oh, Doug. Doug.
Good old Doug.
It's like I hope we're not taking another ghoul around. They make me itchy.
Mhm.
They give me hives.
But with that, we will call this session to a close and
Oh,
go around the table. Oh, go ahead.
Well, really quickly though, but I need Serene back if Serene can be back. Okay, hi. So as they're kind of like finishing up and stuff, with their things, like I just kind of hand waves the whole like, oh, by the way, apparently Benny wants me to work for her.
We should and she smiles, like kind of seeing stuff. We should talk about that later, and just kind of give Linka a kiss.
Sure. Sure. And like it just kind of ignores the kiss and just continues walking out.
So, with that, we will call our scene to a close for the evening. And we will go around the table, introduce our players, and let them tell you a little bit more about themselves. Starting with our good friend Zero. Zero, who are you and where can we find you?
Hi, I'm Zero, also known as Hawk Castillo, also known as Nico. And you can find me anywhere that I allow you to at Touch of Goblin.
Mr. Omadra.
Mouse. I am Tristan Kitcat. It was my honor to play Finnegan Omadra for you tonight. You can find me flitting through the trees and the mountainside and through the... You can't find me. Haha.
We don't go outside. I'm not finding anybody in the trees.
Yeah, if I found someone in the
play
trees,
vampire. What are you talking about?
I'd be confused and concerned.
I'm from Appalachia. I know better than to look for somebody in the trees.
There you go.
Good for you guys. I guess that's me then.
That's you.
So I am Dapper Zombie everywhere you can find me. It's at the moment mostly just TikTok when I randomly post stuff, and Redbubble where I put up designs that make me laugh and other people question me some days.
That brings us to our resident therapist, Tremere. Cyrene, who are you and where can we find you?
Yo, I'm Fennec Lee Wilder. You can find me on most things at the Fennec Wolf, and I'm here being a little chaos gremlin and moderating the chaos.
Lenka, who are you and where can we find you?
Also Chaos Gremlin. I play Lenka Blisk. My name is Hannah. They call me Jinx sometimes. Bad Luck Jinx. You can find me at Bad Luck Jinx. Maybe sometimes add an 83. You might find me. If not, who cares?
Which brings us to my co-storyteller for the evening. Omishi, who are you and where can we find you?
Hello, I am G'day Effects everywhere I want you to find me. And I also have a session tonight with the Emissaries Coterie. So do feel free to pop by the stream and watch that group of Chaos Goblins revel in their chaos goblinry.
We are all chaos.
And as always, I am ST Einar at Einar_TTRPG. Anywhere I want you to find me. I am founder of Philly by Night and storyteller for my wonderful, wonderful Ancilla. And just remember, gang, we may play monsters, but that does not mean we can't be the light in somebody's life. I want you to go out. I want you to have a great day. Remember you are loved. And thank you all so much for coming by our funny little stream. Have a great night.